This is Shannonville Motorsports Park, site of the Export A Inc. Formula 2000 Series. Hello everyone, I'm Mark Bunting, and this is round 2 of our 9-race Export A Inc. Formula 2000 Series. With me as always is Pat Gonzalez. And Pat, last week we were at Mosport Park, which is a totally different testing ground for these open wheel racers.
Well, Mark, the 4-kilometer circuit here at Shannonville is very, very flat, unlike the rolling hills and great elevation changes that we have at Mosport. But you know, this is a very technical racetrack. Every one of the corners on the circuit is just a little bit different. There's some slow turns, there's some medium fast corners, and there's some very fast corners, as well as a long back straightaway. But you really have to do every one of those corners perfectly to get a fast lap here at this circuit.
One driver who knows Shannonville very well is Stefan Prue. Stefan literally has logged thousands of laps here as an instructor at the Spinard David Racing School.
Well, he's not the only driver who knows the fast lines here. Ken Gerhardt out of Kokomo, Indiana, won the pole position here last year. He put his car third on the grid. He'll be one of the drivers to watch. And also Gordy Cullen, 5th fastest in qualifying. He has a lot of experience here at Shannonville in both Formula 2000 and 1600cc cars. And another driver to watch is David Webb. He won one of the races here last year. He's very experienced. I think he'll be right up there with the leaders.
No matter who gets the pole position during any of our races this year, they'll be doing it on Firestone race rubber. Earlier, Pat had a chance to find out a little bit more about the tires, and that's this week's Firestone Fact.
The Export A Inc. Formula 2000 Series has a spec tire rule, meaning that each one of the teams must use the same tire. In this case, the Firestone Sports 2000 F90 Slick. This tire will run at temperatures of about 185 degrees Fahrenheit. And during qualifying and practice, you'll see the teams checking the tire temperature to make sure that they've got even temperature from the left to the right side of the tire for maximum performance. In the case of a wet race, they'll go to the rain tire that's made of a very soft, spongy rubber. And it's been hand grooved in a directional pattern to channel the water away from the contact patch. Now, there's a rule in the series that allows the teams just 6 tires for qualifying and the race. Those tires are marked by the scrutineers, and the drivers cannot use any more than those 6 tires. Now, here at Shannonville, because of all of the right-hand turns, particularly corner 1, the hairpin, and the fast right-hander at the end of the back straightaway, there are a lot of demands put on the left side tires. So of those 6 tires, 4 will be used on the left side of the car. Now, the tires used in the series are now in their 3rd year of development. And earlier I asked Firestone's motorsport manager, Tom Natchu, if what they'd learned on the racetrack, they've been able to apply to their street tires.
Oh, the demands that the Formula 2000 Export A drivers put on these cars is just unbelievable. And with the 6-tire rule, we need to make a durable tire. They're racing drivers. They like to go a little quicker every year. So the combination of durability and quickness is what we've had to go back to the lab for. And we learned from that, and our reputation is durability and quickness on the street, and we hope a little of that goes into our tires each time.
So everyone wins with Firestone tires, including our pole sitter today, Jeff Gerard, who for his efforts gets 4 Firestone slicks. Going into today's race, our championship points look like this. Stefan Prue leads with 30 after his Mosport win. He's followed by Craig Priddle with 26. Jeff Gerard has 23. Mark Abel has 20. Martin Guimont has 18 points. He's followed by Scott Maxwell, David Webb, Bobby Haggard Jr., Dwight Woodbridge, and rounding up the top 10 is Andrew Nippon in 10th place with 11 points.
While the cars have been pushed out here onto the starting grid, the drivers all buckled in, and they're thinking about a couple of things. One is the weather here at Shannonville. There was some rain earlier this morning. It has stopped. The track is still wet, but all of the cars are on slick tires. The drivers are also thinking about the start of the race. And at round 1 at Mosport, we saw a great start by Stefan Prue as he was able to anticipate the green light, shoot from the 2nd row right in between Jeff Gerard and Craig Priddle to grab the lead, a lead he would not relinquish in the course of the race.
And Pat, you can bet that both Craig Priddle and Jeff Gerard learned an important lesson on that one. We're almost ready for the start of round 2 of this Export A Inc. Formula 2000 Series. We'll be back right after this. Round 2 of the Export A Inc. Formula 2000 Series. I'm Mark Bunting. The drivers are just about set for their warm-up lap. Let's go to Pat Gonzalez with a look at the starting lineup.
Number 3, Jeff Gerard with a Cardinal Watches pole time of 1:39.063 seconds in the Export A Inc. Swift. Alongside will be the points leader, Stefan Prue in the Reynard. Starting on the inside of row 2 is number 7, Ken Gerhardt out of Kokomo, Indiana. And alongside of him will be number 2, Craig Priddle out of Scarborough in the other Export A Inc. Swift DB4. On the inside of row 3 is number 43, the veteran Gord Cullen in the Ethnic Ad Van Diemen. And alongside of him on the outside of the row, number 4, Dwight Woodbridge out of Ortonville, Michigan, one of his best qualifying efforts.
Okay, Pat, here's the rest of the grid. Mark Abel in a Swift is on the inside of row 4. Martin Guimont of Van Diemen is also in that row. Then it's David Webb and Rick Hayward in row 5. In row 6, we have Kevin West and Bobby Haggart in a Van Diemen. Row 7 sees Scott Maxwell in a Swift. Greg Hootman's the rookie in row 7 alongside of Maxwell. On the inside of row 8 is Howard Katz. Mark Cruz is with him, a couple of Americans there. On the inside of row 9, Steve Jalabian alongside him, J.M. Indovina, both of those drivers in Reynards. Row 10 has Kevin Inkpen, Victoria, BC, and Don Priddle. Row 11, Robert Wright and Rick Choi. And rounding out this field in row 12, John Goss and Trey Yorsky, both of those drivers in Reynards.
The last of the cars just rolling into position on the starting grid. The officials have cleared the grid. All eyes focus now on the starting lights. As we're about to go green, the engine's being revved here, and we're on green. A lot of wheel spin, cars weaving back and forth, and it's Jeff Gerard who grabs the lead in turn 1. Stefan Prue was able to get through into 2nd place. Craig Priddle runs 3rd, and then it's Dwight Woodbridge who will take over the 4th place position up the straightaway. Here is Prue as he looked to take the lead on the inside of Gerard. The 2 cars just about touched going into turn number 2, and again, Stefan Prue challenging for the lead. He's right up alongside of Gerard as they come on the short chute, but Gerard will hold them off as they come into the Sterling Moss Carousel for the first time. Number 3, Jeff Gerard, the pole sitter, leading. Stefan Prue, number 65, running in 2nd. Then it is Craig Priddle 3rd. Dwight Woodbridge in the red number 4 car, running back in the 4th place position.
Pat, at this early stage of the race, it seems as if the drivers are just feeling their way around because the track is still very damp.
The car is still very tightly bunched, and number 81, Joe Indovina, has spun the McLaser printing radar coming out of that left-hand turn. He keeps the car on the racetrack, and now will get it turned around. Here is the leader, Jeff Gerard, number 3, working his way through turn number 9 of the S's here at Shannonville. Stefan Prue just a few car lengths back, and here is Craig Priddle. He'll pull up alongside into the hairpin, but Priddle not able to get around. 65, Stefan Prue, who will hold on a 2nd. It is still number 4, Dwight Woodbridge in the red car, running in the 4th place position. And then we've got a bit of a gap. Back to a great battle, and oh, look at this crash here. Mark Cruz, number 96, has run into 32. Howard Katz in the red car. Cruz has really crunched the front wing on his car. He has continued off the end of the back straightaway. The car is just weaving back and forth, trying to find a good line into turn 11 at the end of that long back straightaway. Stefan Prue still holding on to 2nd place as the cars come through Allen's corner. And again, Priddle pulls up alongside of Prue, but he won't be able to make the pass as they come on the pit straightaway. It is still number 3, Jeff Gerard, your leader. And here is Priddle alongside of Prue into turn 1, and Prue will shut the door on the Export A driver, Craig Priddle.
Priddle's teammate Jeff Gerard in the number 3 Export A Inc. Swift is showing a lot of poise for a driver that saw this racetrack for the very first time this week. He got dialed in very quickly to set the fastest qualifying time, and he's got a 2-second margin over Stefan Prue right now.
We look at a great 3-way fight for the 5th place position. 43, Gord Cullen in the white car, holding off number 8, Martin Guimont in that red number 8, Van Diemen. They're having a great fight. Also in there is number 7, Ken Gerhardt, as the 3 drivers come up through the fast left-hander return 5.
In behind Craig Priddle is number 4, Dwight Woodbridge in 4th position. We asked him earlier what his race tactics might be today.
In a short race like these, being a sprint, your always strategy is to sprint hard, go from the beginning 100%. And I've been very successful with starts. At Mosport, I made up 4 or 5 spots right at the start. So the strategy will be to get as good a start as possible and try and move up and hang with the leaders.
Well, Woodbridge is doing just that right now. He started in 6th place, and he's worked his way up to 4th, just at the tail end of that lead group consisting of Gerard, Prue, and Priddle.
Behind that front-running quartet, we've got a great 4-way fight for 5th still. And here is number 11, Kevin Inkpen, the rookie.
Here's our first look at the SO update. Jeff Gerard continues to lead, followed by Stefan Prue. Gerard's teammate Craig Priddle's in 3rd. Dwight Woodbridge and Gord Cullen round out the top 5. Then it's Martin Guimont, Kevin Inkpen, Ken Gerhardt, Rick Hayward, and Mark Abel in 10th.
A great drive by Kevin Inkpen in his first Export Inc. Formula 2000 event. And number 0, Scott Maxwell just about ran off the racetrack as he runs just ahead of number 13. David Webb, the driver's now coming through the chicane, and there's 32. Howard Cassie has parked it for the afternoon. Battle into Allen's corner. This is the race for 6. Kevin Inkpen right up alongside of number 8 in the Van Diemen. Martin Guimond, they're side by side coming out of the final turn. And Guimond will hold off Kevin Inkpen, but Inkpen turning in a tremendous drive in a 4-year-old Reynard. In fact, this is the car that Stefan Prue raced to the 1987 Formula 2000 Championship. These two drivers again going at it side by side at the top of the straightaway. In a turn 2, Inkpen on the inside of Guimond, and he'll take over that 6th place position. Guimond being shoved back into the 7th place spot, and behind Martin Guimond is the number 7 car of Ken Gerhardt.
Kevin Inkpen racing well today at Shannonville. He knows this track. He won the Spinard David Racing School Championship in a Formula 2000 car in 1990.
And Inkpen is not finished yet. He's been sideways several times, really pushing that car at the limit. And now he is closing on the 43 car of Gord Cullen in the Ethnic Ad Van Diemen. This is the race for 5th as they go through that double apex left-hander at turn 6. And again, Inkpen all over Cullen for 5th, and a few car lengths back is still Martin Guimond as he runs in the 7th place spot. The drivers just heading into turn 8 on the back straightaway. The battle for the lead continues. It's number 3, Jeff Gerard, just ahead of Stefan Prue. And behind in 3rd is still Craig Priddle, and then Dwight Woodbridge running in the 4th place spot.
Jeff Gerard, our leader in the number 3 Export A Inc. Swift. He's out of Saint-Hilaire, Quebec. He's had minimal track time here at Shannonville Motorsport Park. As we mentioned earlier, we asked him what he thought of getting his first 1991 pole position.
I'm surprised for myself because it's my first time here. It's a really technique track, but we got around really fast with it, and we did a good setup on the car. Friday we were testing and we had problems. The car was oversteering, and now we found out the problem, and it was good.
And it continues to be good for Jeff Gerard as he has opened up a 2.5-second lead over Stefan Prue, who still has Craig Priddle right on his rear tire. Here's that race for 5th still going on. Number 43, Gordy Cullen, still holding off the red 11 car of Kevin Inkpen, and Inkpen has really had a tremendous drive in the Spinard David Racing School. Of course, his entry here this weekend, the prize for winning the school championship last year, and he's inside of Gordy Cullen in turn 2, and Inkpen has taken over that 5th place spot. Meanwhile, Prue still coming under fire now from Craig Priddle. This is the race for 2nd, and both of these drivers still trying to chase down the leader, Jeff Gerard, as they head up to turn 6.
Here's the race for 7th place with Ken Gerhardt holding off Scott Maxwell. Maxwell in the Slugger Sport Euro Swift. He's had nothing but problems all through qualifying. Mechanic Phil Lepin finally narrowed it down to a gremlin in the carburetor, and Scott has moved up steadily. We'll be back with more from Shannonville and round 2 of the Export A Inc. Formula 2000 Series in a moment. Motorsport Park and round 2 of the Export A Inc. Formula 2000 Series. I'm Mark Bunting along with Pat Gonzalez. And Pat, the track is starting to dry up a little bit, but if you get off the dry line, it's still pretty treacherous out there.
There is Martin Guimond coming. Guimond off the racetrack out into the grass. He'll get it back on the racetrack, but that is about the 3rd time he has had an off-track excursion. The lead battle working its way off the end of the back straightaway into turn 11.
Time again for our SO update. Jeff Gerard continues to lead, holding off Stefan Prue. Craig Priddle is in 3rd spot. Dwight Woodbridge and Kevin Inkpen doing well to be 4th and 5th. Then it's Gord Cullen, Rick Hayward, Scott Maxwell, David Webb, the veteran, and Ken Gerhardt.
While Gord Cullen has been involved with some very close racing throughout the afternoon, now he has number 20, Rick Hayward, parked right on his rear tire as they come off of turn 11 and head for the chicane here at Shannonville. Cullen currently running 6th, Hayward is 7th.
Ken Gerhardt in the number 7 Elite Engines Reynard had been running in 7th position behind Cullen, but he lost that spot at the end of the back straight right here, Pat.
Well, he just got in too hot into turn 11 off the end of the back straightaway, and that one little miscue just cost him 3 positions. Gerhardt currently running back in 10th. We look at the lead trio across the start-finish line and back into turn 1. Stefan Prue has reeled back in Jeff Gerard. Gerard had a 2.5-second lead earlier, but he has really chopped it down, and here comes Prue on the inside. He'll take the lead as they go into turn 2. Stefan Prue has moved around Jeff Gerard as Priddle also closes. Out of turn 3, Craig Priddle is all over his teammate Jeff Gerard, and on the inside into the carousel, it'll be Craig Priddle taking over the 2nd place position. So they have shuffled the front running order. It's Prue leading, Priddle in second, Gerard third.
Let's take another look at those passes from a different angle. It looked as if Jeff Gerard really allowed Prue too much room entering corner 2, and Prue jumped all over him.
While Gerard had that early lead, and I think with the drying racetrack here, his car is not handling as well, and both Prue and Priddle were able to catch him. Here they come into the carousel, and Priddle goes through on the inside to take over the second place position. So right now, I believe Jeff Gerard struggling just a little bit with the handling in that car as we look at the new leader, Stefan Prue, number 65, coming into the hairpin here at Shannonville, moving out onto the back straightaway. Priddle just a car length back, and Gerard continues to fall further back.
Stefan Prue already has the advantage of 30 championship points and $10,000 from his win in round 1 at Mosport Park. We asked him earlier if having been an instructor at the Spinard David Racing School here at Shannonville is also a big advantage.
Yes, I know this track. I teach here the past few years, and but you got to realize also the Swift are very competitive. They're very good cars, and my Reynard is competitive, but I think we have to do a lot of work on it to make it go quicker. And I think it's not important at this point. I'm in the first row right now, and the race is 20 laps, and I know how to race. I think it's got to keep my cool and press hard at the same time, and we'll see.
Well, what we're seeing now is the race for 6th with Gord Cullen just behind a lap Robert Wright. He's a rookie. He's followed by number 20 Rick Hayward and 0 Scott Maxwell.
Maxwell having a good drive in the mini grid sluggers Euro Swift as he holds on to that 8th place position. We look at the number 5 car of Mark Abel running in 12th. Just in back of him is the red number 8 Van Diemen of Martin Guimau. Guimau's several spins on the racetrack have cost him a top 10 finish. He's running back in 13th. The leader early in this event, Jeff Gerard, running back in the 3rd place position. He continues to lose ground to the leader, Stefan Prue, as he puts a lap on number 87, Kevin West, with Craig Priddle also moving around West. They are closing quickly now on the number 9 car. That is the blue Van Diemen of Bobby Haggart Jr. Here's your leader, Stefan Prue, through Allen's corner. Right on his rear tire, number 2, Craig Priddle. These two had a great battle at Mosport at the season opener, and they've resumed the battle here at Shannonville across the start-finish line. Back into turn 1. It is Stefan Prue by just a few car lengths. Craig Priddle, number 2, will chase him down as they head up the straightaway to turn 2 as Prue dives in on the inside of Bobby Haggart Jr. Priddle also coming through on the inside, and he has closed it back up here on that number 65 car of Stefan Prue, part of the good crowd here at Shannonville. And oh, we've got a spin in turn 15. Again, it is number 8, Martin Guimau, who has looped the car around coming on the front straightaway. He will continue, but it has not been a good afternoon for Martin Guimau. Race leader Stefan Prue, number 65, still feeling the pressure from Craig Priddle as they head into turn 8 at the start of the F's. There is your 3rd place driver, Jeff Gerard, struggling just a little bit now with this car as the track has dried up very, very nicely.
Okay, Pat, let's take another look at our ESSO update. Stefan Prue continues to lead. He's followed by teammates Craig Priddle and Jeff Gerard. Kevin Inkpan and Dwight Woodbridge doing very well in 4th and 5th. Then it's Scott Maxwell, Ken Gerhardt, Gord Cullen, Martin Guimau, and David Webb in 10th.
Well, David Webb, the report we get from timing, has set the fastest lap of the race so far. If that holds up, he will receive a cardinal watch for his efforts. There is Kevin Inkpan in car number 11, Dwight Woodbridge running in that 5th place spot, and they have also lapped the rookie Kevin West, number 87. There is your 4th place driver, number 11, Kevin Inkpan in the Spinard David Reynard. Again, this is a 4-year-old car that the Spinard David Racing School arranged to drive for him here today at Shannonville, and he's been very, very impressive. The battle for 7th continues between Rick Hayward in the white number 20 car and Scott Maxwell in that red Sluggers mini grid Euro Swift. He's all over Hayward as they go to turn number 1. These two drivers just a car length apart, and Maxwell has had a good run here considering all the problems he had during qualifying with getting the car to run properly. Hayward still holding on to 7th. Maxwell runs in 8th.
With Stefan Prue, our leader, and Craig Priddle in 2nd, we'll be back with more action from round 2 of this Export A Inc. Formula 2000 race from Shannonville Motorsport Park in a moment. Motorsport Park near Belleville, Ontario, and this Export A Inc. Formula 2000 race. I'm Mark Bunting along with Pat Gonzalez as we wind down this 2nd race of our 9-race series.
We look at the battle for 9th. Gordy Cullen, number 43, who has slipped back just a little bit after running up as high as 5th. He is now having a great fight here with the 13 car of David Webb. Webb number 13. Oh, and Cullen, 43, is off the racetrack. Gordy Cullen sliding off the racetrack. That's going to cost him a couple more positions as he now gets back on the racetrack. So Cullen has been sliding backwards in the running order.
Here's number 65, Stefan Prue in his Reynard, with Craig Priddle in second spot in his Export A Inc. Swift. There he is coming up on a lap, number 99, Rick Choi. We begin the last lap on this 2.5-mile circuit.
Craig Priddle closing on Stefan Prue. Less than a lap to go. Priddle was not able to catch Prue at the season opener at Mosport. We'll see what he can do here at Shannonville. The drivers out of the carousel now for the final time. It's down to just 2 car lengths.
Pat, it seems Craig Priddle has the faster car and he can close the gap on Prue, but he just can't get around him.
While Stefan will be very difficult to pass here on this last lap, he's going to make that car as wide as possible through turn 7 now. They head to the S's for the final time, and again, Priddle closing to within just a car length and a half, but Stefan Prue holding on as he did at Mosport.
Number 3 is Priddle's teammate, Jeff Girard. He had been leading this race, but now he's well back in 3rd place.
And again, Priddle will close as they go through turn number 9. Now into the hairpin. Craig Priddle looks for the inside, and he's right there to within half a car length of Stefan Prue. They move out onto the back straightaway. There's Girard still running back in 3rd, but he's a long, long way back. They're coming up to lap the 96 car of Mark Cruz, the front wing damage from the early race incident with Howard Katz. Here is Stefan Prue into turn 11. He was able to open it up just a little bit down the back straightaway. They head for the chicane now for the final time. Stefan Prue trying to make it 2 for 2 here in 1991. Allen's corner and turn 15 is all that remains. And again, Priddle closing right up on Stefan Prue. I don't think he'll have a shot as they come on the pit straightaway. The checkered flag is out in the Flaggers Tower, and Stefan Prue wins round number 2 here at Shannonville. Priddle again will have to settle for 2nd.
So today's race, a story of dramatically changing track conditions. All the drivers went out on Firestone slicks to start the race, which turned out to be a wise choice because now the track is dry. As we look at Jeff Girard come along in 3rd position here. Let's take a look at our final standings with Stefan Prue taking his 2nd win in as many races, followed by Export A Inc. teammates Craig Priddle and Jeff Girard. In 4th, an excellent ride by the rookie Kevin Inkpen from Victoria, BC, and an equally good ride by Dwight Woodbridge.
Scott Maxwell finishes in 6th, and it's Ken Gerhardt, David Webb, Greg Putmans. Greg now leads the Cardinal Watch's Rookie of the Year award, and in 10th, it's Martin Guimont. Here's Mark with the winner.
Stefan, well done. 2nd in a row for you. Another battle with Craig Priddle. With the wet conditions going into the race, what was your game plan?
Was try to make it safe for the first 2 laps, try to get a good start also. I think Jeff had a better start. He had better traction on the inside line, obviously because there's less traffic. So I tried to protect my 2nd place because Craig Priddle was going on the inside, so I closed the door on him and managed to stay 2nd. Then Jeff kind of just took a few car lengths, but I didn't worry because I wanted to test the car, the ground, before going, as quickly as possible.
Stefan Prue does it again. He's 2 for 2, and Pat, he's come back from Europe, and he's showing everybody how it's done.
Well, Stefan showed his mastery of this track here at Shannonville, particularly with the changing conditions, wet at first, the drying race line, and he was just brilliant throughout the whole race.
Stefan Prue now has 60 points. Join us for our next race, round 3 at Mosport Park. That's it from Shannonville. I'm Mark Bunting with Pat Gonzalez. Thanks for joining us. This series is brought to you in part by STP, the official additive, and Prestone, the official coolant, both part of First Brands Canada Corporation. Cardinal Watches, providing official timing for the series. Firestone, the official tires for the series. And by Esso Petroleum Canada, supplier of Protec engine oil, official oil of the series.